Today's cryptic crossword clue is fig and ram. And this is a weird, stretchy clue. I would say that sometimes we know when we select a clue that it's going to have mixed popularity. It's going to be maybe polarizing. And a lot of the time we do it anyway because we think this is just part of the diversity of cryptic clues. And so if we aimed at clues that we thought were going to be universally popular, we might end up being a little bit boring. So anyway, we've gone with this clue. I think some people will not like this clue. I might be surprised. Maybe everyone likes this clue. Or I might be surprised and everyone hates this clue. But I think it's going to have a mixed reaction. Hold on to that word mixed. That's going to come back later. Let me explain. We put it on a Friday, I should also say, because it is hard and weird. Friday is the day that we reserve for that when playing on the Minute Cryptic website or in the apps. Let's have a look at how this clue works. I will be telling you the answer partway through this explanation because otherwise it's just going to take me way too long to explain. I think it's easier to explain once I've given you the answer. But before I get to that, I think this clue has this kind of fundamental striking component, which is that the clue itself is much shorter than the answer. The clue is 7 letters long and the answer is 12 letters long. That's very unusual. A lot of the time in cryptic clues, what we're doing, we've got this long clue and this shorter answer, and we're only selecting certain letters to manipulate them. Sometimes we're deleting letters, and we reduce our letter count to compile our answer. But it's weird to have this shorter clue and this longer answer because you've got to ask the question, where do all the extra letters come from? And there are 2 ways to increase letter count from the clue. One is with substitutions. And so you could, for example, here, take the word ram, a 3-letter word, and you could replace it with the word sheep. It's a good substitute, and it's a 5-letter word. So if you took ram in the clue and put sheep in the answer, you've increased the letter count. The reason I think our intuition should tell us that that is not what's going on here is the N in the middle of the clue, this apostrophe N apostrophe, because that looks like it's asking for letter manipulation. Because otherwise, why isn't it fig and ram or fig ampersand ram? Why apostrophe N apostrophe? It looks like it's asking you to manipulate the letters because it looks like it's saying you need these letters and only these letters. Otherwise, we'd just say and. And so we should be thinking about a technique that allows us to increase our letter count through letter manipulation. And the only real way that works is with a rebus clue. In a normal clue, the instructions for how to manipulate letters are in the clue itself, and then the effect of that letter manipulation takes place in the answer. But in a rebus clue, the answer gives you the fodder and the instructions for how to manipulate that fodder to give you the clue. It's kind of a reverse engineered clue. So now I will give you the answer. The answer here is mixed farming. And so the way it works is mixed farming corresponds with fig and ram as a definition. Fig and ram, mixed farming is farming where you have livestock and crop on the same land. You've got rams wandering in between figs. And this actually is a form of mixed farming. There are farms that grow figs and have sheep among them. It's an example of mixed farming. And so you've kind of got this correspondence between the answer, mixed farming, and fig and ram. Fig and ram would be an example of mixed farming. But it also works on letter manipulation because if you have mixed farming, farming is mixed, and it gives you this anagrammed clue, which is fig and ram.